Hey guys, Rizwan here from Anime Secrets, and I'm here to talk to you guys about yet another Pokemon Go raid system change that we've been noticing over the last 3 weeks as part of the ongoing changes that Niantic has been making to the game in light of the Dynamax updates they've been rolling out. Now, just as a quick refresher before we get into the topic, SATA raid bosses are relatively new to the game, and they've been out for probably a year if I had to guess. I don't actually know how long they've been out for, but they've been out for a little while. And the cool thing about SATA raids is that you're able to go battle SATA Pokemon in raids and get the encounter to catch a SATA Pokemon from them, which is really nice if you want to go catching stuff like SATA Weavile or SATA Beldum or whatever you want from raids, or in the case of the video on screen right now, SATA Magmar. Now, what I think we need to talk about first is the mechanics of how a SATA raid differs from a normal raid. So, as you can see on screen right now, a SATA Pokemon will at some point during the raid, typically about the halfway mark, become enraged, making its attack and defense much higher than it would be normally without it. And this is a big deal because that makes the raid a lot harder and makes it much more rewarding to take it down from a challenge perspective. Now, when you get the raid boss down to about 20 or 15%, typically the state of enraged goes away and the Pokemon is subdued, meaning it is no longer enraged and is back to normal stats as it was in the beginning of the raid. Now, this has changed a little bit in how it works, because as you can see, as I get to the point on the SATA Magmar raid, you will see it get subdued, and you'll see that the Pokemon will be just taking normal damage again like it was in the beginning of the raid. But what's happening now is when you subdue a Pokemon, it will immediately lose all its defense, and the next one or two fast moves, probably the first fast move you throw after, will just defeat it. And that's not necessarily a bad thing per se. I actually think it's not a really big deal, but it is still interesting and it's something worth pointing out. So let's take a look at some video of current raids showing this problem, and we can kind of dive into the research being done by people on the PokeBattler Discord server under the research channel, working on researching all the changes to Pokemon Go ever since the Dynamax updates have been rolling out. Check out the Sylph threads for all the information on that. I'll put some links in the description box down below. But without further ado, let's open up some of these current raids and see how it looks now. Now, this is a SATA Scyther raid I'm going to do in Windy, and so one thing I'm going to do to kind of make this a little bit quicker is use a Mega Rayquaza, because as you'll see when I use Dragon Ascent, it'll really chunk the SATA Scyther, making this raid a little bit quicker and less painful. So it'll get to the point a lot quicker for me. Now I'm just going to be doing normal attacks against SATA Scyther, trying to dodge the Trail Blaze best I can. And here we are with the SATA Scyther in raids. He has now gotten much more attack and defense, and he's an angry Scyther. And so I'm going to keep trying to take him down so I can get him to subdue, so I can show you guys what happens when we get him down to nothing. And so here we are, just getting crazy damage now, because the Trailblaze will inevitably hurt quite a bit when it does hit. Like in this case, Unported just goes down, and it'll be chaos from here, I promise. It's not going to be anything pretty. The fact that we have the boss gaining all the energy as quick as it has is not really helping me out here at all. So, but the point stands that this is a good demonstration of two problems. One, that the energy is making raids a little bit harder here, as you can see that I'm having to re-lobby. But have no fear, Mega Rayquaza will save the day. And so, Mega Rayquaza is back, and we're going to do our best to dodge Trailblaze and keep it alive so we can knock out the damage quick and subdue it. Now, I do want you to keep a close eye at that HP bar as I get to the Subdue point. It'll be a little hard to see, I think, because of Dragon Ascent, but here we're subduing the Scyther, and one fast move was all it took to knock it out. And that was about 15% HP left on the thing. That should not have knocked it out completely, but it did. But now that I've given a demonstration with just a normal raid and no special consideration, I do want to shift gears and show you guys a video by my collaborative partners, Flyfunner from the PokeBattler Discord, where he tries out a couple of different things to get a better idea of what is actually happening here. So let's take a look at that. Okay, so here is Flyfunner's Scyther and Rage point. We're almost at Subdue, and once we get to Subdue, we're going to stop, pause for a second, and analyze the team he's going to use going forward to finish it off. Kind of to talk about what is the strategy here to determine damage to defeat the enemy. Now, in the case that in Raid to Subdue, that transition is dropping it to complete 0, one yawn, that is 1 damage, should be enough to kill the Scyther in 1-hit KO. But as we're about to see, this lockoff throws not 1, but 2 yawns, and it's not able to knock it out. But the Porygon is able to throw 2 lock-ons, and that's enough to kill the Scyther. And as we all know, lock-on is a very weak, fast move. So yeah, this is a pretty good test by Flyfunner to show, yes, we are seeing the Subdue drop the defense more than it should probably be dropped, thus making the end of the raid a lot easier. Now, this is something I actually like, because in the last couple of days of testing Saturn raids for the group, I have come against some raid bosses with all the energy gains and all that, where I simply would not have won if it were not for this mechanic at the end. So the question really comes down to, is it Niantic's intent for us to have a very easy end after subduing the raid boss? Is Subdue a different state of stats compared to the beginning? I don't know, but it is something worth pointing out that, hey, it seems like the Sato raid stats have changed and mechanics have changed quite a bit, making the raid a little bit easier at the end after going through a bit of more difficulty dealing with the end raid state. Now, I personally don't care if it stays or goes. I think a lot of us probably wanted it to stay, but it is a cool little thing. I thought I would report on it, give it its due credit, and kind of give it analysis of what I'm seeing from our collaborative research over at PokeBattler. But with that said, this is my quick video looking into the Sato Pokemon Subdue changes and all that. So yeah, if you guys are liking the content we're putting out, please do remember to subscribe, like, and comment, and stay tuned, as inevitably Niantic will continue to mess with our raid system, thus forcing us to release more videos to kind of help you guys keep up to date on what's going on. But until then, this is Rizwan from Anime Secrets, signing off.